Hey everyone, welcome to WealthScienceX. I'm Tony.
I'm Jamal.
We hope you enjoyed last week's video with our interview with CEO Michael Guattari. This week we're gonna take a deep dive and take a look at ARKX.
ARKX is Kathy Wood's latest ETF. This ETF is focused on space exploration, and we're going to walk through some fundamental analysis on this ETF.
Awesome. And make sure before we go into the video, make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and also join our free trading community Discord. We've got live trades, secret trades, pre-trading plans, and all sorts of other tips and tricks.
Without further ado, let's get to it.
All right, everyone. So let's just looking at the chart for ARKX. So essentially, it came out. It started with the price about $20. Came out last day of March. So this is a really new ETF. It's brand new. It just came out. Just in the game for about 30 days. So right now, technically, would be a good time to buy. So let's just talk about some of the things in ARKX, right? So it's investing into space companies, suborbital, orbital, just investing into basically taking mankind into other planets, building other civilizations elsewhere than Earth. Just to take a quick look at the holdings. So we've got 9% in Trimble. This is interesting here. Kathy has 6% of this ETF in another ETF, in her 3D printing ETF. So this is an ETF that's invested in another ETF, which is pretty interesting how she did that. So Kratos, Defense and Security, we can see Lockheed Martin is in there, Amazon is in there. So let's just take a quick look at some of the rest of the holdings. So if you go to arkfunds.com and you go to this website, you can find out all this information on the website. So just kind of looking down the list, right? We've got JD.com. That's a Chinese e-commerce company headquartered in Beijing. Lockheed Martin, another big name. NVIDIA. Jamal, what's your opinion on some of these companies in here? If you could, give us your thoughts.
Yeah, so Tony, you can see like a mix of all sorts of companies. You have NVIDIA, you have Netflix. So Kathy's thinking more of, life on of humans on, let's say, Mars, and how that life would look like. So for example, Netflix, the reason she chose Netflix is when we're on our journey to Mars or any other planet, we're going to need a form of entertainment, and everyone watches Netflix. Netflix can help us watch stuff, just entertain ourselves while we're on our journey to Mars or the moon or anywhere into space. Another one is NVIDIA. So NVIDIA, a lot of systems are going to need a lot of semiconductors to be able to be smart enough to guide the rocket into space. And also, if we look at Deere and Co, they make agricultural equipment. And the plan is, if we get to Mars, we're going to need agricultural robotics to help us plant stuff on Mars or on the moon. So she's thinking more of a long-term vision, and that's why this ETF, in my view, is an ETF that's probably going to be a long-term investment, 10 to 20 years. And another company that I think is going to enter this ETF when it goes public is SpaceX. So Tony, SpaceX. There's a lot of rumors SpaceX is going to go public this year. And when it does, I wouldn't be surprised if SpaceX is in the top 10 holdings. And I assume it's going to be its top holding for the ARKX ETF.
Yeah, and then one interesting thing I did notice about this ETF, we've got Virgin Galactic Holdings as a 1%. And that says quite a bit. Jamal, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, Virgin Galactic, this SPAC recently got hammered with selling volume, mainly because the founders of the SPAC sold their positions, and the stock went from like $40 to $20, and Kathy ended up selling most of her Virgin Galactic stock. And the way I was able to see her selling the stock is through her daily updates. So for anyone who's subscribed to Kathy's trade list that comes out every single day,
Mhm.
for the past 2 weeks, she's been liquidating this position massively. So that's why it's gone down to 1%.
Yeah, definitely. Into, Virgin Galactic, I believe they've got the Spaceship 3 model currently. I think that's one of their flagship models. One other company, a couple other things I want to touch on here is Ansys. Ansys is a engineering software development company as well. They make, a variety of different types of engineering softwares for, computational fluid dynamics, CAE, computer aided engineering, finite element analysis, CAD design. So a lot of engineering in there, as well as Autodesk. Autodesk does a lot of they create a lot of softwares, Autodesk Maya, Inventor, Revit, AutoCAD, so they're a pretty big name in there. I can definitely see why Garmin is in there as well, GPS company. Another one I wanted to mention was Dassault Systems. So this is actually, if you watch our CAD video, this is the same company that makes SolidWorks, which is the CAD software, and also CATIA. So if you know those two names, you definitely worked in the industry or are aware. But overall, I think this is a pretty solid list. We've got Alibaba as well in there, and really, so space exploration is really, in my opinion, going to push the absolute limits of our knowledge and engineering capabilities. It's really going to test, how well we can engineer things. Because if things fail, things break. Ultimately, people die, and it's so we need engineering. We need to invest in that, in my opinion. What do you think, Jamal?
No, Tony, I do agree with all you said. Especially in your engineering career, you use a lot of these softwares, and it's something that we need to develop and engineer the vehicles of the future. And also, Tony, we need to also think about how most of these companies are going to start using suborbital space, because
Yeah,
right now that's going to be the major profits are going to be in suborbital space. Um, Once we can dominate that region, I think that's going to enable us to go further into like the farther systems. So right now we all know like the internet, we need broadband. Um, Xfinity comes into your house, they need to run a cable for you to get internet. I think with SpaceX and what with Elon Musk is doing, within the next couple of years, you won't need any cables to get internet. You'll only need like a receiver, and you'll wirelessly get internet to your house, and you'll get insanely fast internet. It's not going to be like this slow broadband speed. It's going to be probably 1 gig per second. And that's the future.
yeah,
We need to take advantage of all this space around Earth. And the best way to do so is to get exposure to this ARKX ETF.
yep. And again, just to chime in, it's a long-term game. This is a long-term strategy. It's going to take a lot of time to get there. It's going to be a lot of, and it's going to be a lot of engineering. It's going to be a lot of different sciences and disciplines coming together. It's going to be a massive human combined effort. It's going to take a lot of money and time and a lot of brains, and sheer hard work to get there. But I think we can do it. And this ETF is a great way to get involved in that from the start. Again, it's been out for a month. So, it's $20 for an ETF. And generally I own every one of Kathy's ETFs, and they've all made me money. And it's not about making money for me all the time. I also believe in the long-term vision as well. Depends on my time horizon, but just wanted to share that 2 cents.
And Tony, this market is growing. The space market's going to grow. So even though the net assets are 63 million, as the industry, the space industry grows, this ETF will probably be in the billions. So you can easily 10 times your money within the next maybe 5 to 10 years, and that's solid returns for any ETF.
And for me personally, I haven't really seen, a space exploration ETF out yet. So, Kathy, I think in my opinion is super smart for getting in the game early. And she's definitely an innovator. And again, you don't have to buy this ETF. You can simply, analyze all the holdings, dissect every holding, and invest accordingly. And you can buy all these individually. The research is done. You know, Kathy and her team have, picked these, 39 different holdings meticulously for a reason in my mind. And, that information is valuable. And you can, it's super easy just to, go down the list, do some TA, or invest, in companies you enjoy. All right, everyone, we hope you enjoyed this week's video. Again, ARKX is a great ETF to invest in, the future of mankind long term.
And if you like this video and the analysis we did, please leave a like. It helps out the channel. And for any other ETF, please comment it below and we'll do a fundamental and technical analysis on any ETF you send us. With that, we hope you you like the video and we'll see you guys next week.
See everyone next week.